Go ahead and start the recording. Hello everyone, it's Carol with Scrap-A-Dab-A-Doo Crafts. We're here to continue with the Passport Baby album using the Sizzix Passport die and the Prima Heaven Sent paper line. So last time we made the album and got all the main pages decorated, and so now we're going to go back in and finish decorating the inside pages. So I'm just kind of winging it. I really don't have a plan. So I'm going to add papers to the waterfall pages and get those done, and then we'll decorate it some. So I think these pages, I'm going to cut them at 3 1/4 by 3, and a lot of them I'm going to use my scraps that I had. And I do have more of these dies in stock. I know we ran out of them last time, but I do have more in stock, and they are available in the store. You guys still there? All of a sudden the chat stopped. So that one was pretty much cut. And I am going to round the upper corners on the top. Janny, you were censored. Are you a mod? Oh, I gotcha. So you can allow links. They're on. So you're good. You can try it again, Janny. I'm just going to round the top 2 corners on this. So how many of you have kids that have already gone back to school? How many of you have done the back to school happy dance? Our kids don't go back till like September 7th or something like that. I took the grandkids out last week and got them all their school supplies, their pens and pencils and pencil pouches, and I was amazed at the list of things that they need. All the way from a calculator to tissues and everything in between. So I'm just going to glue this on, and then we're going to find something cute to put on the front of this one. And I am using the 8x8 paper pad and the 6x6. I found that the 6x6 has better size of some of the embellishments that we can put on there. They come in smaller. Are they both in full-time this year, June Marie? Well, they have been, haven't they? So I think, since this is the opening page, I think what we're going to do is we're going to use this Welcome Baby. And I think I'm going to have to cut it down to have it fit on the page. That's funny, June Marie. I am certain that they will be just like the millions of other kids that have gone on and off those buses without a problem. So yeah, I'm just going to trim this down just a little bit, and it says welcome new baby, and then it's got the date. And I'm just going to take a little bit off both sides. Spanish immersion. What does that mean, Jean Marie? They mean that they'll have to start learning Spanish? I think I need a new blade in my trimmer. Things are coming out a little fuzzy. What does that mean, Jean Marie? And I think we're going to go ahead and pop it up on some chipboard. Do they know any Spanish at all? Have they been learning any of it? So, and as you all know, I like to use my glue stick when I'm gluing paper to chipboard. That would be hard. What percentage of people speak Spanish in your area, Jean Marie? Hi, June. How are you? So, and I'm just taking my Martha Stewart knife and cutting my piece off. So, do you guys think we should make the boo banner in class starting next time? Probably only take us, well, 2 classes. I could make another one and then I could give one away. And then we're going to ink that a little bit. So on this front one, we're going to put welcome baby and then the date. And then we'll find something fun to put down below it. And I'm just going to use my quick dry to glue that on there. You know what? I hate to do this after I've done it, but I'm going to round the top 2 corners of this. Oh good, it didn't touch. Re-ink. And then just stick it down. Then I was looking at some of the print on some of these to see if I could find just something that I could put across there that would I think most people in Mexico speak English, though, June Marie. Oh, here's one. You can cut it off of this one. It says special delivery, welcome baby. And then we'll just do a little bit of special delivery on there. How's that? And then we'll use the stork on a different one. Okay, just chop that one right off. And then we'll ink it. Oh, I like that. I'm not even going to put chipboard on it. I like it flat. Okay, so let's move on to the inside pages. And I think these are 3 by 3 here too. I've got this one cut. No, I don't like the way that fits, so maybe it's a little bit bigger. Let's go ahead and measure it. Hi, Margaret. Okay, so this one for the inside, I'm going to cut it 3 1/4 by 3. And let's see if I have a scrap. If not, well, I'm sure this one is going to fit. Those are probably the 3 most important things you could learn. Yep, this one, unless I use the back. It's not going to work, but I think this will. That'll work. And we'll give the corners a rounding. And make sure that when you're using a directional paper, you don't want this one to flip up and be upside down when it flips up. So you want to make sure that when you're putting it on, that it flips up the right way so your paper's not upside down. So we'll go ahead and add that to the back. You know, well, I have been to Mexico, and I didn't find it to be a problem speaking English there. Most of them understood the English, especially when you go to some of the resort towns. They all seem to understand what you're saying. But when I went to Japan, that was a different story. Not a whole lot of people spoke English there. But fortunately, I was with our Japanese students, so... And a lot of these, I'm just going to leave spaces where they can add pictures. And I might put something in the corner that they can tuck a picture down into. And so I want to cover this one. And I'm going to go all the way up to the fold on this one, so it'll cover where you added the thing. And then I'm only going to go down to the hole. So that's about 3 1/2 by 3. Okay, that's about 3. We'll see if I can get that to fit. Hi, Monica. That is at 3. So this week we have had our granddaughter's Chihuahua again. When I had gone over and gotten the kids last week, they had to take her in for some emergency oral surgery. And Yumi, my daughter-in-law, was just getting ready to go and pick her up. Actually, I think this one on the bottom, since it's slanted, I'm going to go ahead and do the slanted. But they had just gotten a new puppy. And it's a lab, I want to say, it's a lab shepherd mix. And of course, it's a little rambunctious. And they were really afraid that Garcia would get hurt by the puppy after they brought her home from surgery. And so I told him that she was more than welcome to come home with Grammy and recover. So we have had her here with us since last Wednesday. I think it was one of those days. I don't know. Last week was kind of crazy. Okay, and so I'm going to put that one up to the top so it'll look layered. I think I'm going to try and go in and ink these edges. I should have done that before I put them on. And so she's been recovering, but man, we've got to give her an antibiotic 3 times a day. And she absolutely hates taking her medicine. But she has not had any issues with eating. We've given her soft food, and the first couple days we really watered it down so that it was almost liquidy. And then just started later in the week making it harder so that she could just eat them. So I really should have inked all these beforehand. So just remember that if you're going to go to make this, that you really need to ink first. So that looks cute. I'm going to go ahead and glue it down. Yes, that is universal, isn't it, Janny? Okay, so, and then I'll go back and I have that place photo stamp. And I will have it somewhere. I have the place photo stamp here, so I think I'll go back and just make little, maybe even stickums. Nope. Stickers and put them on there. Uh-oh. You know, that doesn't work. Well, we'll just fold it. Okay, so remember that, because it does need to fold up. So that's a problem when you put that paper on there. So you might want to reconsider that. No, it'll work. Okay. And I think on the top of this one I'm going to put this. It says, the littlest feet make the biggest footprints in our heart. And then they can add a photo at the bottom. So I really was surprised. The gal that I'm making this for, she's been a family friend forever. She's one of my youngest son's friends that used to come and stay with us all the time and all kinds of things. And she had a baby shower. She lives in Las Vegas, and she had a baby shower. And this one's going to be 3 by 3. She had a baby shower here in Washington State, because that's where she's originally from. And her sister had given her a bunch of baby clothes that her niece had grown out of, so that she'd have them and everything. And so she packed them all up and took them in and sent them back home via UPS. And the box was like 50 some pounds. And I'm going to go ahead and angle this one. And when she sent it. And so she sent it on Monday. And it was due to come in on Wednesday. When she got the box in, it was in a completely different box than what she had sent it out in. And the box weighed 20 some pounds. And all of her handmade baby blankets that people had made her for her shower were missing. Someone had made her a stuffed elephant, because her theme is elephants. And all of the new baby stuff and quite a bit of the baby girl clothes, bags of it, were missing out of this box. And so she called UPS, and they don't have an answer for her. They have no idea. Oh, the box must have broken open, and the stuff that fell out was probably put into lost and found. And, you know, they're just really totally giving her the runaround about where her stuff is. I mean, she's just devastated, because some of this stuff is irreplaceable. And they told her that they would start an investigation. And Jess asked them, you know, well, what does an investigation entail? And she says, well, we'll put a claim in, and if anybody sees it, then they can report it to us, and we'll get it to you. So I'm just saying, be careful when you mail things through UPS, because she didn't get her stuff. I know, it's horrible. I feel so bad for her. This was her, this is her second child. She has a little boy, but they never had a baby shower for her then. So this was her actual first baby shower, and she was so excited with all the stuff that she got, because most of her family is from here. It'd be sad. Doesn't it figure that when you're crafting, you have to change your tape? Okay, we're back in business. So last she posted was that they thought that maybe her stuff had been reboxed and it was shipped to the Lost and Found in God, where was it? Someplace. And she said, why, how in the world could have it gone to, oh, Utah. It was shipped to Utah, they said. What? So she's not a real happy camper. So some of this paper just isn't going to be big enough. I think this one will be. I'm just going to make it work, because I want to use up as many scraps as I can. So I'm glad that I didn't finish this book and get it sent over there. I think I'm just going to leave this one completely square. I'm going to trim it down a little bit on the sides. And add that in. That works perfect. I've never had a problem with UPS, but then I typically don't ship through UPS. I always just receive my orders, but you know, I've never had a problem getting my orders. So that one's going to want to fold too, but that's not a problem. Oh, maybe it is. That looks funky. Hang on. See if I can get this up without ripping it. I know. Undo, undo, undo. Just a little bit more. There we go. So I'm going to trim that off because it does look funky. So just take a skosh off the top. Yay, I know. So I have this week started to plan for CHA in January. You know what I think I'm going to do? Oh, there's this little tape measure. Oh, that's going to look cute in that gap. I'm just going to add a little piece of tape measure to that gap. Because I got to, Xander had messaged me and asked me if I'd made my reservations for CHA yet. And yeah, I really hadn't thought about it. And I told her no, that I hadn't. Well, she's going to the, hi Kim. She is going to the Prima art venture. And so she went in to make her reservations, and almost all of the hotels were booked up already. Oh, that looks really cute. You see it? So that's what I should have done, is just added a little piece in there. This one really doesn't bother me, but that one was going to. So we're just going to add that in. And so I thought, well, you know, if she's saying that the hotels are almost booked up, I thought, well, maybe I'd better get in and take a look. And so, sure enough, I got to looking around. There wasn't a whole lot left as far as hotels go. And the the rooms that were left, that were right there at the convention center, they were like $380, $296 a night. You know, they were just out of control for as far as price of rooms. And so I started looking a little bit further away and finally found one that's reasonable. And so I booked enough rooms for the people that I know that are attending. I'm still waiting to hear if Ash is going to be able to go or not. And I know it'll take a while for her to know with everything that's going on with Mark. So, but I'm hoping. I love this die. I made my nephew and his wife got married it was a year ago. And they decided that before they settled down and had kids, that they were going to do some world traveling. And they have pretty much hit all the continents. And they were traveling for a year. And then they were going to come back and settle down. And so, oh, that fits on there really nice. I decided I was going to make them a little travel book that they could take with them. And on these pages on the inside, I just put blank pages with, I cut it out of lined paper, and I just made the little sections for every 4 months or every 3 months, so that they could document what they were doing during that time and where they'd traveled. Now on this one, I'm just going to round the bottom corner. Because that's the only one that's rounded. And then on the top, I think I'll find another cute saying. So they've been all over. They came home in August for his sister's wedding, and then they immediately left again to finish their travels. And so they've got 3 months left, and then they will come back and settle down and go back to work. But they've had a blast. Let's see what we can put up top here. I know we've got some oh, I like this saying. This one here. And this one's out of the 8x8. And it says, I don't know what heaven looks or feels like, but you, my sweet child, just your existence makes me feel like I'm in heaven every day. I love you. I think that's sweet. I think I'll put that there. Kind of looking to see if there's something else that I like too, but I like that saying. It's going to go in here somewhere. Yep, I think that's the one we're going to use. I know I'm going to have to cut it down some, so start out here. So I think it's going to have to go pretty close to the words. So it's got to be 3 wide. Well, that is 3 wide. So, and how tall? A little less than 3.5. So I'm going to start trimming a little off of each end as I go till I can whittle it down to 3.5, a little less than 3.5. Okay, I think that'll work. Oh, you can't get private messages on an iPad. So, is my camera too close? You guys seeing what I'm doing? Let me see if I can zoom out. I don't know how close I've got it. It's not letting me zoom out. So I'll lift my camera up a little bit. Okay. So that fits right like that. I like that. I love some of these sayings that they have in this paper pad. And I've got one of the new Prima paper lines. I forget what the name of it is, but it's one of their new ones, and it should be in early next week too. Oh, I like that. Okay, so that's a good fun little thing here. I want to find one of the little, and I want to just make a little corner pocket on this one up here. And I think I'll do it where you can write on it. You have a reason, Kim? Do tell. So I think, okay, that's going to work. I'm going to round that one corner at the bottom over here. Oh, I think you told me already, Kim. Didn't you? Yes, you did. Congratulations. Okay, so on this, I'm just going to put a real thin bead of glue. I left my cap off. When is she due, Kim? And then we're just going to glue that to the side. So there's a little spot there that they can write on. And then we can take just a piece of pattern paper. Or a couple of them, actually, I think. Mid-October. How exciting. Are you going to go and be there for when it arrives? And do you know what it is? So these are going to be about 2.5 by 2 3/4. Oh, fun. How long are you going to get to stay? Oh, they don't. A lot of people are waiting now again. Instead of finding out the sex, they're waiting. So then we can just tuck these right in here so that they can add more pictures. So this can really actually hold a lot of pictures once you get it all done. I made it into a recipe book too for Christmas. Okay, so there. So we've got a couple little more photo mats here that they can put photos, and I'll go back in and just put a little sticky that says at place photo here. So we've got those all done. And like I say, a lot of these, they might go back through and do the same thing on some of these. In fact, you know what I'm going to do, and I made this earlier and I think I'll do it now, is I had taken the pleated ruffle die, and I use this on the banner on the tops too. Hi, Iffy. And so I cut one that's about the size of the page and glued it down, and I'll show you how this is folded. It's really actually kind of fun, and I really never realized how fun this die was. I've had it forever and I've really never used it, but I used it on the banner. So I cut a second one out. But what did I do with it? Okay, well, here's part of it. I've already used part of it, so wonder if it'll let me zoom in now. Oh, there it goes. Wow. Really went weird. See how close I can get it. Okay. So anyway, you take and you fold it. to make your ruffle. And you fold it over. Let's see. How did that work? Okay, there it is. Oh. Okay, so now it's weirding me out. Okay, so this, okay, that's how you do it. You start out and you fold this one over. Takes me a minute. And then you fold that over. And as you go, it makes a ruffle. So you fold that one over this way. And then the next one you fold over the opposite way so that it makes a ruffle. I ended it. So anyway, you end up with a ruffle like that. So I had done one, cut it off for as long as I needed it, folded it all together, and I'm going to just go ahead and round the one corner and put it down, and then we'll be able to stick photos. Now I left a little piece of each one of them on the side so we could put adhesive on that so it kind of let it pop up a little bit so it puffs out. Does that make sense? Did you get that? And then we'll cut out a piece of paper and put it across the top of it that says something, like one of the cute stickers or something. So let's go ahead and do that on one of these pages. So I'm just going to add some quick dry to the sides of it. This is the ruffle die. This is the Quick Cuts pleated ruffle. And we still have these available in the store. They're an old die, and I don't even know if they're available anymore. I forgot we had them. And I don't think that there's something that people think about using unless they're shown how to use it. So I'm just going to put a little bit of quick dry on each end of this. And I did glue between each one of the ruffles to hold them down. And we're just going to pop this on the bottom so that it's like a pleated pocket. And you know, I should have probably put glue on the bottom. Duh. So that's the nice thing about these little bottles. You can get them into tight places when you need just a little fine line of glue. Okay, so let's find a good strip of paper. Let's see. Oh, I like this one, this little bunny that says picture time. So I think I'm going to cut it out and I'm going to pop it up on chipboard and put it on the top of there. I love all these little icons that they have on here. And like I say, I need a new blade. I don't have a new one in here, so I'm just going to have to trim my sides as I go to get the fuzzies off. I'm sure we've all been there, done that. And then I always just save my little pieces of chipboard that you have, because you always have scraps. But I always save a bunch of scraps so that when I have to put something on chipboard, I have little scraps. Thanks, Jenny. I guess my glue stick's about gone. I wonder if I have a little bit of pink paper. I do. I'm going to make a little bit of a ribbon to go back behind it before I put it down. So a lot of these times, you know, I always think I'm going to do kits and stuff, but I never know what I'm going to use until I start going, and I hate to put a kit together because chances are I won't use a lot of what's in the kit, or I'll find something else I want to use and it won't be in the kit. And so I just use what I use and let you guys pick and choose what bits and pieces you want for it. Makes sense to me. Although I don't think you have this one, Margaret. Or maybe you do. I don't know. I think maybe I just cut it out for you. And we do have them cut out and available in the store as well. So let me see how long I want to make this. This is just really cute. So 3, and I think I'll make it like 1/2 an inch. I'll make it 3 inches long. By about 1/2 inch. Maybe I'll go 3/4 of an inch. I think I'll go 3/4. Maybe I'll go a full inch. How big is this? I don't know. It's an inch and a half. I think I'm going to go a full inch. I think anything smaller would look dwarfed by the time we put the chipboard on it. Yeah, I think last Christmas when you saw my recipe album that you had me cut it out for you, but I don't think you ever bought the die. I think we still have a couple in the store unless they've all sold out today. But I can get more in. This one's one that I'd like to keep in stock because I think I'll use it. So I like that. And I think with this, I'm going to use score tape to tape it down. think I put my cookie one in with my, ouch. My Christmas stuff, because it's got all my, I wrote little tiny recipes for all my cookies that I do at Christmas time and stuck them in here. And so when Christmas time comes, I just pull that out and I can pack away all my other cookbooks. Oh, that's going to look cute popped up on there. Adorable. So I think I'm going to move it up a little bit. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to take some of these other, I think I'll go, oh, this will be a good paper to use in there. And I'll cut it down. I'll go 2.5 by 3.5. See if I have that much on here. See if they can be cut to that length. Okay, and I'm going to put the top back on my glue so it doesn't dry out. And I know I've said this before. I need new glasses, girls. But if I leave the top off of my glue bottles, I'll just take and unscrew the cap and go out and put a bowl of water in the microwave and heat it up for about 3 minutes. 2.5, 3 minutes. Then I just pop my tops down in the hot water and let them set for 3 or 4 minutes. And then I can just take them over to the sink and rinse them out, and it clears that cap when they get dried up. I don't think these are long enough. It might be. I don't think so. And I said 2.5. Oh, these are going to be perfect. And I think I'll round the corners on this, the top parts of these. No, I'm not going to. I'm going to leave them square. That way a picture will fit better on it. Especially if for someone who doesn't scrapbook, it'll be easier for them to put pictures on. And I'm going to ink both sides because then they could actually put pictures on both sides. And for someone who doesn't scrapbook, I always send a roll of 1/4-inch score tape with a gift. And that way they can, I don't want their, you know, I was sending some of those real cheapo tape runners like this when I do a gift, but I found that the tape doesn't stick, and so they were putting them on there, and then, you know, 6, 7 months down the road, their pictures were starting to pop up off, and so I felt really kind of cheap. And so now I just go through and send a little explanation on how to use the score tape, and send a roll of 1/4-inch score tape for them to attach their pictures with, because I know that the score tape is going to stay put. So now I got a couple of little photo frames in that pocket. Isn't that cute? And then I'll just put a put photo here, over here on that one. And then we should probably do something on one of these pages that it's fun. What can we do? We could make just a little belly band on one of the pages. Kind of the same thing. I know it's kind of redundant, but we could do a cute little belly band across the page. Find a paper that looks good. I think the dots look the best with this. Oh no, I like the plain blue on that one. So let's just make a little belly band. Yeah, I like the place photo here too. And, you know, we've got these stamps in the store. And we just ordered them. They're just clear stamps. And you just put them on your stamp block. Let's see if I have one handy. Of course I do. I keep all my thank yous on one. And then I'll probably just take a little sticky pad. Put it on there. That way, you know, with a sticky note, they probably can figure out that the sticky note needs to come off. But if I put a white piece of paper or something, ooh, that's a good one. Oops, I didn't get enough ink on that. So if I were using my Misty, I could just re-ink it and stamp it again. But since it's just done, but see, we can put sticky notes on there. And I'm sure they'll figure out that the sticky notes, and I'll include a note, please remove sticky notes and put your photos in place of the sticky notes. How does that sound? So, let's see. Still want to make sure. 3, so I'm going to cut it to be 3.5 so I can do a 1/4 inch fold on each side. Well, gee, that was just right. And then I think I'll go ahead and make it 1.5 inches. And then I'm just going to take my little mini scoreboard. This is my favorite thing. And I'm just going to score it at 1/4 inch on each end. Fold it over. And then I think I'm going to try and find some word or something to stick in the middle of this one too. Okay, ladies, I've got to get a new trimmer blade. There's nothing worse than the fuzzies, especially on a gift. Okay. Now when I'm doing the foldovers, I always ink the inside that's folded over so that when it folds over, it's inked too, so you don't have white paper on the other side. then I'm just going to put, I don't think 1/4 inch, no, I'm going to put 1/8 inch tape. Probably a couple of them. No, just one. And they don't announce the name. We know it's a little girl, but their surprise is that they want to announce the name after she's born. So otherwise I would try and put her name somewhere on there. Now, this is directional paper. You've got kind of words on this, so I want to make sure that it's going there. And we're going to put this in the middle of the page. It doesn't quite go to the edge, so I want to make sure that it's equal on both sides. Put that there. And then I'm probably going to have to cut up some paper to get it to fit. I think my scraps are not big enough for this. Probably not. But let's see what I can put on the front of this. Unfortunately, they don't have too much that goes lengthwise. That would work, but it doesn't go real well. So let's look through the pad and see what I can find as far as paper goes. That would be good. The 6x6 has much more in the way of papers as far as pieces. And then, oh, you know what? I forgot. I forgot they have these stickers in the back. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put one of these stickers. And I think this one here is the one I'm going to use. It says, "Loving the Moment." So I think I'll just ink that and stick that right on there. That works perfect. Oh, they thought of everything in these paper packs. And I'm not going to pop it up because we want to kind of keep it. And then what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to just, I've got some white cardstock, and I think we all have white cardstock. Maybe I don't want to go white. You know, I think I do. I think I want to go white, and I'll do the edges, and I'm going to cut it to fit down in there and make my photo mats just out of white cardstock. So I'm going to go 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. And I'll do 2 of them. 2 3/4 by 4 1/4 twice. Make sure they fit before I take the time to ink them. Fits like a glove. I like that. And then I'll just stick a place photo. Gonna have to be stamping a lot of place photos here. So did everybody go to sleep? Nobody's chatting. Okay. So, and then on this, I'm just gonna do place photos here. So we're getting kind of bulky, and I'll do a place photo here. And then we'll just go through and map these. So this one's a cute one that I think I'm gonna, I don't know if it'll fit without chopping off the words. So that's a no-go. This little bunny would fit on the top of it. I think we're gonna go with the little bunny. That's what we're gonna do. But I feel so lonely when you're not talking. Hey, I did go in today and I put everything from clearance at 75% off. Because when Dan gets the shed done, which he started this weekend, we will be moving everything out from, I better clean this out, the front of the garage. And then we will be converting that part into more store area. And when we start doing that, we have to tear up the floor out there so that we can put in laminate flooring so I can just sweep it rather than having to vacuum. And so that means the entire room has got to be cleaned out in order for us to do that. So instead of moving it all out, I am going to clear a bunch of stuff out. And so I started with the clearance section and went for 75% off of that because a lot of it's been there for a while. And then I will look through the sections. I know my dies. I know I have a lot of dies in the store. And that would be, oh, I like that. That would be my next area. Hang on, you guys, I need a drink. That will be my next area to go through. And probably the rest of the Martha Stewart punches because they're discontinued. You can't find Martha Stewart punches hardly anywhere anymore. And there are no new ones being brought out. So you might have a look at the Martha Stewart punches and see if there's any in there that you want or gotta have. I really should have done this. You guys make sure that when you make yours and you want it, you know, before you put waterfall pages on there, you go through and you ink your pages before you put them in. It's just much easier. I mean, it can be done this way, but it's just not as easy. So all those Martha Stewart punches, what I have is what I have. There will not be any more. And some of them are really nice. You can't see the book? Can you see it now? Oh. Okay. I moved it back. Yeah, that's what I've heard too, and I also think that she took EK Success with her as far as their crafting supplies, because I have not seen any more new punches from EK Success, so I'm thinking that we aren't going to see much from them either. That's my thought. Can you see it now? Well, I need to move it out of the way when I do things. But one of the things that when we do the new addition to the storeroom, we're going to try and convert it to where I have my craft area in there as well, so that I can do my shows from out there on my big packing table. So this one, I'm going to use the angle. No, EK hasn't come out with, I mean, they released some punches, but I think that they were ones that were already in the making before that, because I haven't seen them come out with anything else. I think I'm going to cover that one. That angle just doesn't match. We're going to make that angle match. Maybe. I don't know if I can. What if I mess it up? Oh, it did. I did it. Made the angle match. But I haven't seen EK come out with any new tools or products. I know they're still doing all of the stickers and things like that, but as far as tools and punches and things, I haven't seen them come out with anything new. Oh, I like that much better. So my angles kind of match a little bit better. So, but I think we've kind of seen seen it settle down. There were a lot of companies that were being bought out. I know that American Craft has purchased a lot of the I'm gonna a lot of like the crepe paper and Maggie Holmes and Heidi swaps through them, and you know, there's just all kinds of them that they accumulated. And so, and I think even We Are Memory Keepers has added some companies. So we've seen a lot of takeovers and a lot of merging and all kinds of things like that. But I think we've finally started to see it settle down. You don't hear as much rumor about so-and-so going out of business. I know Basic Gray went out of business, which was really sad, but um, their papers hadn't appealed to me in particularly for quite a while. Thank you, Iffy. I think I don't know if I want the blue one on there because it's blue already over on the other side. And I didn't like the Oh, I think we're going to go with the blue dot here. I like the blue dot. I do too, Kim. I know Provocraft used to be huge. And then when they brought out the Cricut, I think they put too much stock in that, carrying them, you know, with the cartridges and everything, because then they quit producing a lot of the things that they used to put out. And they did some really nice products. One of the things that they did that I absolutely loved from Provocraft was they did these metal lunch boxes, you know, that were square, kind of like some of those that Basic Gray used to have out. And I love those. AccuCut came out with a die that you could cut the lid and the sides and the inside, and then they had the insides for like your recipe file tabs. They came out with a die that came, you know, that you could do that with, and it was just really cool. And then after they brought out the Cricut, they quit making that stuff. And so then when I found out that they were going to stop making them, I ordered, and this was when I had my store open, I ordered like 3 cases of them, 3 cases of 24. And I kept them because when someone in my family got married, or I'd even made baby boxes out of them that you could put the 12 months in and put pictures, you know, staging pictures where they could, you know, you take pictures because they'd hold the 4x6s. They were that big. And so you could stage your pictures when you took them, and you could put them by month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4. And then that way I'd give them to ladies who were scrapbookers. And that way when they had time, because you know the first year of a baby is always hectic. And you'd never get time to scrapbook. So I'm just going to find a fun piece of paper. I was kind of hoping I could find another one of those ones that had the, oh, I did, the little tape measure. I cut it down and stick it in there. Yeah, back in the 90s. Oof. Did we just date ourselves? So, but, I mean, Provocraft wasn't my favorite company to deal with. Anyway. But loved those lunch boxes. They were perfect. Hang on, you guys. I think my puppy needs to go outside. Hang on. Garcia, come on. Come on. Good girl, Garcia. Okay, she had an emergency. She had to go. Nobody ever calls me. I can't say that. Yeah, that was a fun. The colossal. It's amazing how I think I need to trim this down. Yep, just a little bit more. Since I already put tape on it, I'm just gonna put my ruler on it and use my Martha knife. Bye, June Marie. I'll talk to you soon. But it's amazing how our crafting supplies have changed so much over the years. We've gone toward electronics so much in everything. And if you look at it though, what do you use the most? Your hand tools. I'm gonna have to start cutting into papers. I'm getting quite the mess here on my desk, ladies. How'd you let that happen? Ooh, I think I found one that I can use. Yep, that one's going on top. You know, I don't, well, I can't say that. I do own the original Silhouette machine. And it is down in my cupboard, and I have not pulled it out for years. And I think probably what I need to do is just bite the bullet and order one of the new ones. Because I don't even think it'll hook up to my computer anymore. Oh, and speaking of computers, the one that I am on right now is my laptop. And every time I stream, I have to take down the computer that's in my craft room and bring my laptop in, because the one that's in my craft room doesn't have enough oomph to stream. And so yesterday when I was out and about, I had to stop and find a battery for one of Dan's tools. And so I just happened to pop in and look to see what they had, and I think when we make the change and redo the storeroom, that I'm going to bite the bullet and buy a new machine. I'm going to trim a little bit off the end here because it's really kind of tight to the bottom. Oh, I remember that too, Janny. And you know, one of the first times that I saw him, we have a Ben Franklin out in Monroe, out toward where Margaret Helderson lives. And when I first started crafting, and the store first opened up, I think it was during their grand opening or something, he was in the Ben Franklin store, and he was demoing the what do you call it? The hot melt pot? What do you call those? The hot pot, or you know, the melting pot or whatever, where you could, he was demoing how you could make molds and then melt the wax and pour it into these molds and make molds that were shaped like different things. And he was probably about 6 years old then, or he looked to be about 6 years old. But he had charisma. He was, and I mean, he was no one there. You didn't know the name Tim Holtz. He was just demoing. I'm just going to cut a little piece of blue. Let me see what else I can find on this. I think I'm going to use this one to go down at the bottom. I really want to use up all my scraps. The melting pot, yeah. Does anybody ever use their melting pot anymore? We all have one. And I think they actually even still sell them. Yeah, he was real young. But, you know, that's how he got started, was by demoing. He'd go around the country demoing. And he's always been just really a nice person. So once again, I'm going to try and do my angles. So always just been really a nice person. And you know, that's how Jim's getting his name, as he's traveling around and doing his classes and things like that. So there's something to be said about, you know, making your way around. I'm going to actually use this to make him a little straighter. And Jim said something the other day about he was going to start having his own craft line, so that'll be interesting to see what that is. Okay, that didn't work, so guess what we're going to do? We're going to put this on here, and then I'm going to lay my tag down to the end. And then I'm just going to trim across my tag on both sides. That should give me the same angle. Make it a little bit better. I hope it does too. Okay, I like those angles a little bit better there. Well, ladies, we're running out of time. Anybody got any plans? I could go over for a couple more minutes, but make up for the 10 minutes we lost. Maybe finish up this series of pages. Then I think we're going to go on to something else, because I think you guys can imagine how to go about finishing these books based on what we've done. I still need to write the newsletter tonight. We've got to go over to Dan's mom and dad's. They've got a shed out in their back, and the stairs have rotted and are dangerous. And last year my mother-in-law tripped over a fence and broke her shoulder, or tripped over the hose and broke her shoulders. And so Dan and I have been really trying to make sure that everything around their place is safe. And he had gone out to get something out of there. Bye, Iffy! He had gone out to get something out of their shed the other day, and the boards on it were rotten, and he just about fell through. And so he's been working on making another stair for their shed, and he got it done this week. And so I think when he gets home tonight, we are going to run over and install that for them. because I would hate for them to fall through. I'd feel bad, especially since we know it was rotten. I know Jim's been coming up with some pretty cool things. I loved that old-fashioned camper that he did. It still isn't small enough. And with my trimmer needing a new blade, I'm better off just doing it this way. Yeah, then my mom, she was supposed to have a guy come over and do some work on her front porch. She needs it scraped off and sanded down and repainted, and she's been playing phone tag with this guy, so I'm thinking we're probably heading over there this weekend to get her porch painted and taken care of for her. Okay, so I got 2 more pieces on here that I've got to add. And I've got one with some writing that we're going to use. And then we're going to go with this. I'll cut this piece down and use the dots. Bye, Kim. You're so sweet to do that. And this one's going to be 3.5. I think I'll put the writing one down at the bottom, and I'll put the dots up at the top. And that one, is going to be a 3x3 because I'm not going to put it over the dots. Okay, and then we'll put a little something, well, maybe not. We'll just leave the hole. I'll put a gem or something up there. This is actually going to hold a ton of photos. Little book that packs a punch. It really is. I really am amazed at the amount of room that's in this little book. Especially when you get the waterfalls added. And, you know, if you're wanting the waterfall dies, I have just placed an order for some more of them. They should be in probably week after next. I have gone through 2 orders of them. I thought I'd ordered enough, but they are very fun and very popular. So then I think in this middle one, I think I'll do it on one of these outer pages. One of these. I've still got another waterfall to cover and some other pages to add, but it's just pretty much going to be the same thing. Just making a couple of pockets and just adding the paper to the waterfalls. And then I'll go back through and put my place photo stickers on there. But this is what we've done so far. So let's see if I can zoom in a little bit so you can see it. And then we'll say adios for the day. Nope, that's as zoomed in as it gets. So let me get my camera down here. Okay, now you can see it a little bit better. So we just added the chipboard top to it. I think that's all I'm going to do. And I just might put a little piece here where they can add her name after she's born, and maybe a little spot up here where they can do the date. And then we added the welcome baby and special delivery. And then we made a little pocket up here that holds a couple of photo mats. They can put photos on both sides. And then that one, and then this one that says, the littlest feet make the biggest footprints in our heart. Little tape measure. And then this one that says, I don't know what heaven looks or feels like, but you, my sweet child, just your existence makes me feel like I'm in heaven every day. I love you. I love that saying. And then we'll just put place photos here. And then this one we made a little belly band. And then just added a couple of photo mats there. And then we made a little pocket out of our die. Our, what do you call it, die? The pleated die. And then just did a couple little photo mats that they could add photos to for in here. And we'll just put that there. And then I probably will add some kind of little embellishment in here because it's a little plain right now. And then I'll just add some fun stuff on the other pages. Finish the waterfalls in this one. And then add some probably belly bands and a pocket back here for this. And then on the back, what I'll probably do is I will do 12 months and then I'll do stats so that each month they can go in and just write little notes like how much she weighed and that. But I mean, it's a pretty good book for being as little as it is. And there's a lot of stuff you can do with this die. So anyway, thank you all so much for coming. Sorry I got the late start because my audio wouldn't work, but we got it figured out. And I will be back in 2 weeks and we'll figure out another project to do. Yes, I am, but I'm sorry, Linda, it's not yours. And we're just getting ready to leave, Linda. So glad you could pop in. I will be back in 2 weeks, and we'll figure out another project to get started on. Might do another banner. Maybe we'll do one out of the seaside papers or something. I'll figure something out. I like to wing it. Typically, I don't have a plan until right before. So you all have a good evening, and we will see you in a couple weeks. Thank you, Janny, for coming on and helping with the links. So glad you're feeling better, and so glad you're back with us. And you all take care. Bye-bye.